Hello everyone, I'm Ajay and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back with InfyTQ training again. So in this video we are going to solve one more coding problem, that is longest Fibonacci sequence. Okay, longest Fibonacci sequence. So here we are given an array of integers and we need to find the sequence of integers which satisfy the below conditions. Okay, we have some conditions and input is an array of integers. This is the input. Okay, the ith integer must satisfy the given equation. So the first condition is x of I should be equal to x of I minus 1 plus x of I minus 2. The length of sequence must be maximum possible. If there is more than one sequence satisfying the above two condition, then print the sequence which contains least integers. Okay. So it's basically like a Fibonacci because the logic lies behind Fibonacci is that sum of current number is equal to the current number is equal to sum of previous two numbers. That's the logic of Fibonacci. So the same thing is been asked here, but with some conditions like there will be an array of integers. We need to find such sequence which satisfy that Fibonacci condition, as well as we can consider like there will be many such cases like 2, 3, 5. Till here there is one Fibonacci sequence. 2, 3, 5, 8. Till here there is one more Fibonacci sequence. So there will be like lot of Fibonacci sequence available. That means that conditions that satisfy. From that we need to pick the maximum integers one, that is maximum length of sequence. Length of maximum should be possible, that is max length, which basically the max number of elements. So that's one. And the third most important case is there may be a situation where we get max length, that is if suppose we got the sequence with the length of 5 and we also got another sequence with the length of 5. Both this has the same length of sequence and both satisfy all the conditions. During that condition, there is an exception given that if there is more than one sequence satisfying the above two condition, then print that sequence which contains least integers. Least integers means C. Here they have given an example like 2, 3, 5, 8 and 5, 8, 3. As for the above two condition, it's satisfying this condition x of I equal to x of I minus 1 plus x of I minus 2. Yes. And second condition as well, because 4 is the maximum length of the sequence that can be generated from the array. So from this above two, we need to decide which one need to be returned. So that is the third condition. With the sequence which contains least integers. 2, 3, 5, 8 has least integers. Integers means you can see here 1, 3. There are two integers here, and 2, 1. There are two more integers here. That's about you can see like 2 plus 2. So there are two more integers, two more numerical values than the first one. So this is a smaller one. So we need to return a smaller one. So the first condition Fibonacci, second condition max length, third condition if they both are same, and to return the least integer 1. It's not the integer of the programming, that is even 13 is an integer, 5 is an, it's the integer of the normal mathematics I'm talking about, like 1 is a number and 3 is also a number. So there are numbers are high in this array or in this sequence. So that's for the question. So let's try to jump into the code. I'm going to code this in Python. Okay, let's take this array. I'm taking this in a list. Okay, and let's try to copy it. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we have the list. After that, what we want. Okay, so before jumping into code, let's try to like build up the logic. So we know that we have the input. That's fine. Let's do the marker. Okay, so logic. Yeah, the space right here. Logic. Okay, so first we need to take the input array. Let's suppose it's ARR, in which we take the input. Pick the input array. First step is done. Second step, let's initialize two variables or two lists, you can say L1 and L2, because L1 will continuously find a sequence and L2 will store the max sequence that generated till now, max sequence generated till now, and every current sequence. So in each iteration, we'll check with this condition, that is x of I equal to x of I minus 1 plus x of I minus 2, whether this is satisfied. Then we'll just add that element to the L1, and also we need to check that if that element is not present in L1, we now need to add it. So we just add the element to the L1 when we don't have that element in the L1 list. So that's how the current list will be storing. And in a case where this case will get false, where like we are continuously getting a sequence, that is continuously we are satisfying this condition, and at a point this condition gets not satisfied, so it means the sequence got stopped. So at this stage we'll just consider the L2, because L2 will have the max sequence. We'll compare L2 and L1, and whatever the max sequence we have, that is max number of length sequence we have, that we can replace it. Even the last condition, that is the third condition, which states that if L2 and L1 has a same, that is max sequence, then we need to find the least number of numbers or numericals and make that as a final list or final sequence. So that's the basic logic. So if you couldn't get the logic, just I'll try to code this, then I guess you'll get a clarity about that. Okay. So right, 5, 8, 13. Second 0, 2, 5, 8, 5, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 11, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 2, 3. Okay. 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. As I said, so first step input is done. So I've just took the static input, then two variables L1 and L2. We can just initialize this with an empty array, and we suppose that we will keep this as ARR. Okay, and that's done. Second step, we'll use a for loop for I in range of 2 comma ln of I, because I'm starting from 2, because as we do the operation I minus 1 plus I minus 1 and I minus 2, so we are going backwards till 2. So I'm starting from 2 so that it will not use a negative index. My first condition, if AR of if ARR of I equal to ARR of I minus 1 plus ARR of I minus 2. If this is equal, then we need to check the condition. If ARR of I minus 2 not in L1, that is the current sequence, then we just add L1 but append of ARR of I minus 2. Same way we need to do for all three. I minus 1, if I minus 1 is not there, minus 1 need to be appended, and if I is not there, append I. So that's how the complete L1 will contain, that is the current sequence. So at any point where the sequence gets terminated, because the condition will not get satisfied, because when the condition will not get satisfied, so in that case, first thing we need to check is if ln of L1 is greater than ln of L2, which means that the current sequence has greater value compared to the max value, that is L2 we have. So then we just keep like L2 equal to L1, we copy the L1 elements to the L2, and we'll make L1 as empty array, because in the next sequence we want the next sequence. So and third condition, that is if ln of L1 equal to ln of L2. So when both are equal, as I said, we need to check the number of integers we have. So the best way to check is to convert the complete list into a string, and you can see 5, 8. So if we consider this whole thing as a string, so it would be like 5, 8, 1, 3, 2, 1, and if we consider this as string 2, 3, 5, 8, we have 4 length string, when here we have 6 length strings. So by this we can just say that this has a less numbers, so we need to choose it. So we can convert it to string. So let's take S1, a string. So string can be a join, and for the join, let's have a list str of, I'm using the list comprehension for x in L1. Yeah, that would be S2 equal to join of str of x for x in L2. That's how that can be done. So here we are using join, and join is that join works in such a way that it joins all the strings in the list. So as you have integers, so I'm converting into the str first, that is string, and we have the complete string. So then we are converting into the join. So we are placing the join, so the complete sequence will be converted to string. So after that, we can just come in if ln of s1 is less than ln of s2, which means the first one has the least numbers. So the same condition, we need to change the list. Otherwise, L2 is L2, right? Because we don't want the L2, because we are finally considering the L2. So that's it. And finally, we also need to make the L1 as empty, because next iteration we need to have the sequence. So I guess that's it. So let's try to print the L2. Okay, sorry, it's outside. I hope it works. Okay, we got the test 235,813. 235,813. Yeah, that's output. So basically what I have done is, if I just summarize whole thing. So I took two lists, an empty list, L1 and L2. This one stores the final maximum sequence, and this one stores each and every sequence, and this one is used to compare with this one to whether this is a max or this is a one. Whatever max is there, that will be stored to this, and again L1 is marked as empty one, and again a new sequence will be started. So that's how the complete iteration works. The first condition you have checked is whether it's satisfying the condition given in the question. If it is, just keep on adding to the list, and the moment when it didn't satisfy, that is the sequence ended, then we need to check the length of both. If length of this, the L1 is greater, which means we have got a new maximum sequence, then we are updating it to with the L1, that is a new maximum sequence, and making L1 as empty. And the exception condition where we'll get both they are equal and both have different sequence, then we need to compare the numerical values, that is number of numerical values. So I'm converting to string, and I already explained how with the help of how we can compare the number of numerical values. So based on that, I'm updating the final list, that is L2 again, and once again I'm making the L1 as empty. So this iteration continues, and at last whatever L2 will have, that is a maximum sequence, will be stored in the L2. So I'm just printing that L2 at the last. So that's about this video. All the best everyone. Thank you.